Hello, people, and welcome to another episode of Startup Mentorship Hub. And my name is Labake. If you're new, welcome, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It sometimes it sounds like a cliche, right? Okay, so I'm all feeling all glammed up today, but let's not get distracted. Today we're taking a quick look at cash flow for startup, and I think that when I got my first job working at a startup, it was quite funny because we had a budget, but sometimes we used to overshoot it or undershoot it. But I figured out that oftentimes many startups and entrepreneurs have failed as a result of poor cash flow. You just spend, yeah, there's a budget, but sometimes you just feel, well, let's just spend this extra cash on supplies, on gadgets, and all of that. While before you get started on your next ventures, there's some helpful tips that would help you in managing your cash flow. And then I just try to be brief about it. Number one is setting up a business budget. It's important you put aside a budget that and plan your business expenditure. For instance, if you need to know, budget on simple things like how much you're spending on calls, your internet, and all of that. You need to write it down and then know how much you spend every month in your budget. With that, okay, this is how much you're spending on internet. With a budget, you also be able to control your spending while ensuring that the business remains more functional. You're not trying to look for money every now and then. Another aspect of the business is about this cash flow is you know how much revenue you're getting. So if you know what is in and what is going out, all of that is captured in your cash flow. Another one is follow up on your receivables. Closing deals and delivering goods and services to customers is actually very good. However, there are always, the matter of payment on paper. Sometimes your business looks so good, but when you're turning out profits, you realize that there's something not right. So whether you're delivering goods or services, it's important you record them. Some customers, they also try to say, don't worry, we'll pay you in 30 days. But in that 30 days, don't just ignore and say, well, when it's 30 days, they'll pay me. You have to follow up, and follow up. You have to be on top of your receivables, adjust, how much you're also paying for salaries, utilities, software. Now that subscriptions are actually very common, you need to know how much is going every month to those things. With that, you're able to manage your cash flow. Having an emergency cash, number three. Well, sometimes the nature of business is actually a bit uncertain, and without a proper plan, it's important that you have emergency cash flow. This is some kind of reserve, maybe, I don't know, 20,000 or 50,000, depending on how big your business is, or $1,000, or depending on your currency and how often your how often you actually spend. You need to have an emergency funding. Number four, focus only on essential. I know sometimes, even at home, we get to say, oh, this thing, we didn't budget for it, but let's buy it. However, when you're planning out your expenses, you need to focus on the things that are actually most essential. For instance, buying a new laptop that is not needed, or buying an iPhone that is not needed for your business, gadgets, laptop, printers, all those things that you don't need, you can eliminate it. Number five, stretching out your payables. As a startup or small business owner, you want to stretch your money as far as it can go. Therefore, making deals with your vendors and suppliers. For instance, you can ask for 30 days, you can ask for extended pay, negotiate for extended profit, and then spread out your payables. So you say, okay, if you have to pay like 100,000 to somebody or 200,000, you can spread it out and then choose to pay it, in installment. Managing a business is actually not easy, honestly. However, with some careful management and with discipline, you can do it. So here's a summary of this week on starter message number one. So number one, set up a budget. Two, follow up your receivable. Number three, have an emergency cash flow. Number four, focus only on essentials. And number five, stretch out your payables. Ask for discount. I hope you can implement this tip next time you're planning to buy that fine